Let's jump into a new Reddit story. Our title today is, Am I the A for ruining to my cousin's wedding? Buckle up and get ready for an amazing story.
I'm going to try to keep it brief because I genuinely feel like I'm being gaslit by everyone, but also maybe I'm not seeing my own role in this situation. In uni, I had a very brief sort of relationship with a guy on my course. I ended it because I felt like I needed to learn independence. I've never lived on my own. My mom and dad coddled me and paid for my expenses, cooked for me, did my laundry, etc. He was looking to settle down, and I really wasn't. I wanted to learn to be on my own for a bit, and he wanted to marry someone he could take care of. We went our separate ways, finished uni, got jobs, etc. My cousin got married the other day. This guy I was previously talking to attended with his wife. She also attended our uni and was on the same course. I wasn't really fussed by seeing them. They've clearly moved on, and I'm loving life right now, having that independence I've been wanting. It's all chill until his wife comes up to our table. She asked me why she didn't see me at graduation. For context, I didn't attend our graduation ceremony because both my grandmothers had passed away and it was their funeral. I didn't really care about missing graduation because I've got horrible social anxiety anyway, and the thought of being seen by that many people freaked me out. She asked about my career. I told her that I'm in teaching now, and I love it. Small pleasantries, you get it. But she randomly veered the conversation in a different direction. She's like, "My husband doesn't care about you anymore." I wasn't bothered at all because over the few years since we were together, I started to see just how toxic he was. He was controlling and he wanted me to ask his permission before seeing my own friends. I was not looking to start an argument at my cousin's wedding, so I walked away from them and sat at my other cousin's table. IDK how, but she found me again at some other point of the reception, and it got weird. She was saying things like, "You are so jealous of us. You skipped graduation because you didn't want to see us together." I didn't even know they were together. I didn't bother explaining myself. It would have been pointless as she'd already made up her mind about me. I just nodded along as she ranted to me, but as you'd expect, it started to take attention away from the wedding. I decided it would probably be best to go home, so I gave my gifts and left. But my cousin messaged me a few days later angry at me for starting fights at the wedding. I told her I wasn't looking for any fights, and that girl had approached me every single time. But she told me it was my fault for leading him on in the first place. I explained it was very long time ago. I was only 19 at the time, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, let alone commit to marrying a guy. Am I being dumb, or is this actually my fault? Did I ruin the wedding? There's more I want to include, but this post is limited. Verdict, not the asshole. Let's review some relevant comments from our readers. Commenter 1. You didn't start the fight, and you left so it wouldn't cause commotion at the wedding. NTA. Is your cousin friends with the other girl? Because it seems like she's taking sides when she should be mad at the other girl for starting shit at her wedding. OP. Yeah, they're friends, but I didn't know that until after the wedding. Commenter 2. Shouldn't your cousin realize that this person is making up lies when she's saying you skipped graduation because you were jealous of her and ex being together, and the real reason you missed it was for your grandmother's funeral? Because she could put together that your grandmother did die. And was this grandmother related to the bride also? No, she wasn't. We're related on my dad's biological side, but he's adopted. It was his adoptive mum that passed away, and my mum's mum. She did know about the deaths, but I don't think she knew it was when my graduation was supposed to be. Our families aren't that close. Commenter 3. Not the A. What is wrong with these people? I'd be very firm with everyone who had something to say. I attended my cousin's weekend, and my ex's new wife behaved like an unhinged lunatic following me around. It became so uncomfortable I had to leave because she was causing a scene. I have nothing to apologize for. OP. I did point this out to my cousin, but she's still upset with me and says I probably should not have attended. But I didn't even know they were going to attend or that they were even married. Commenter 4. Did your cousin invite you? OP. She invited my parents, but they couldn't make it, so they asked me to go instead. In our culture, it's considered rude if I don't attend on my parents' behalf. Commenter 4. Did she know you were attending on your parents' behalf ahead of time? OP. Yes, my parents already rang her mom to explain they couldn't make it, but I was attending for them. Commenter 4. In that case, your cousin knew who was going to be there and should have determined if it might be a problem or not and addressed it beforehand. You didn't have the information to judge that. I don't know why your cousin's friend wouldn't just ignore you for the sake of her friend's wedding. What a psycho. OP. I'm not sure if she even put that together until she saw us at the wedding. It was so long ago, and I haven't thought about it since it ended. But the wife is a bit strange for holding on to a year-long relationship between 18, 19-year-olds. Commenter 5. Sounds like neither your ex and wife nor your cousin were actually mature enough to get married.
Let's now jump into the juicy update. September 11th, 2025. Nearly 2 weeks later. I did end up contacting my cousin after reading through the comments on the original post. I waited a while because she was enjoying her honeymoon. It went better than I expected, to be honest. She did start off by explaining that she was upset at the wedding because she felt flustered about having people fighting at her wedding. It was her instinct to stick up for her friend. I mentioned in the comments that my cousin and I aren't very close, so it might sound strange that she'd opt to defend her friend over me, but it makes sense to me, and I'm not mad about it. We pretty much squashed it and agreed that it would be better for the sake of our families to just agree there are no hard feelings and what happened, happened, just to make life easier for events like this in the future. I don't think about it anymore. Most of my reaction to the situation came from everything happening so publicly. Once I was out of the situation and had time to cool down a bit, it stopped bothering me. I wanted to clear some things up too. Some of you were confused why I would be shocked that the wife found me during the reception. I forget that white weddings are so small. There were between 700 to 1,000 people at this wedding, and like 70 to 80 tables, not including the bride and groom's table. It was a pretty big venue, and my cousin's table that I sat at was tucked away in the corner. Speaking of, some of you were wondering why the cousin I sat with didn't say anything. She's like me in that sense. Getting involved just makes the situation worse, as we've seen with our parents, aunts, and uncles. And no, it wasn't a situation where the entirety of the hall stopped and watched. It was more of a situation where the few people around us were watching the situation go down. There were still people dancing, going to all the carts, serving different foods, etc. Also, I don't know what side of the story his wife knows, nor do I care to know it. It happened 3 years ago. I realize my account of this may be biased, so I take accountability for that. I think naturally we tend to only see situations from our own point of view. One clarification from OP. This is just standard for Asian weddings. If you're not a close member of the family, you're not generally expected to give gifts. You'll just give a small amount of money to the couple, like less than £200, as a gesture of wishing them a blessed marriage. And a final comment from one of our readers. Commenter. As for why your ex's wife came at you, I can't help but wonder what kinds of stories and signals she's getting from your ex. Maybe he idealizes you, or maybe he's tried to make you the devil and blame you for everything that went wrong in your relationship. Maybe he's telling her that you're obsessed with him and following him around in person and on social media. Hope you like this story. Like and subscribe to keep receiving the best stories in all Reddit.